The mourning dove is probably my favorite dove. I don't know how one comes to have a favorite dove, but there it is. I can only imagine that it has something to do with my childhood. I grew up in the southern Great Plains, and way back then, the mourning dove was the only dove species around. Well, there was this species, but the rock pigeon didn't really seem dove-like to me. Often, when out hiking across fields and pastures, I would see and of course hear mourning doves all the time. Although its name would imply that the mourning dove is sorrowful, it is not necessarily a sad bird. It is so named because of its mournful cooing. The call is probably something you've heard during the summer if you live within the bird's range. There are certain birds I can draw closer to me by using my hands to simulate their calls and songs, mostly owls and doves, and the mourning dove is definitely one of them. According to the National Audubon Society, when you hear a mourning dove's familiar cooing, the song is almost always coming from a male looking for a mate. Males will claim a favorite cooing perch, a prominent spot where they can catch the attention of females with their songs. They'll even defend their favorite singing sites from other males who try to land there. The Cornell Lab of Ornithology reports that, although the mourning dove is a popular game bird of which hunters harvest more than 20 million each year in North America, it remains one of the most abundant birds, with a U.S. population estimated at 350 million. The mourning dove is mostly light brown to buffy tan. Some individuals can even appear grayish and or grayish tan in color. Now, I mentioned that the mourning dove was the only dove around in the southern Great Plains when I was a kid. Since then, however, there have been at least 3 dove species that have expanded their range into this area. The Eurasian collared dove, the white-winged dove, and the Inca dove. Mourning doves are smaller than Eurasian collared doves and white-winged doves for that matter, but noticeably larger than Inca doves. The Eurasian collared dove, besides being much larger than the mourning dove, is lighter in color and has a distinctive black half collar and square-tipped tail. The white-winged dove has a white wing stripe which is visible while the bird is at rest and in flight. It also has a square-tipped tail. The Inca dove is quite small and rather unmistakable with its dark feather tips which create a scaled appearance, as seen here. Perhaps the most important feature to look for to distinguish the mourning dove from others is the large oval spots on the wing coverts. No other doves in North America have these spots. Mourning doves have a thin black bill, pinkish legs, and a long pointed tail. The tail has a diamond shape when the bird takes flight and has white edges. There are 5 subspecies of the mourning dove, but let's not get into that. We could be here all day. Just remember those black spots. During the breeding season, the mourning dove can be found all over the United States. Some birds in Canada and the northern states will migrate south when the weather in those areas becomes too cold. However, mourning doves are year-round residents in most states. They also inhabit a large portion of Mexico and all of Mexico and Central America during the winter months. According to the National Audubon Society, the mourning dove is one of North America's most adaptable species, thriving in a wide range of habitats from coast to coast. Mourning doves prefer open areas such as farmlands, parks, and backyards over dense forests, but these doves can also tough it out in harsh habitats like the desert southwest, where their ability to drink brackish or slightly salty water, up to around half the salinity of seawater, without getting dehydrated gives them an advantage. The mourning dove's diet is almost entirely made up of seeds, from grasses to grains to weeds, etc. Mourning doves can be attracted to backyards, or front yards for that matter. The mourning doves that visit my feeding stations almost always prefer to eat on the ground. They enjoy millet seed, cracked corn, black oil sunflower seed, hulled sunflower seed, peanut hearts, oats, and even Niger. Doves often scoop up the seed and store it in a throat pouch called a crop. Afterward, they will fly to a perch where they can take their time and digest the food. Mourning doves are seasonally monogamous. Once a courtship ritual is complete, the male will select a potential nesting site and call his mate. If she approves of the site, she will build a nest out of materials brought to her by the male. Mourning doves usually nest in the dense foliage on a branch of a tree or shrub. Some birds, however, will nest on building ledges, gutters, eaves, and even hanging plant pots. The female lays 2 eggs, and both male and female incubate them, which takes about 2 weeks, as does the nestling period. In other words, they grow pretty fast. For the first few days after hatching, both parents will feed chicks a nutrient-rich substance called crop milk, which is secreted by cells in the crop, then regurgitated up for baby doves, which are also called squabs. Mourning doves are prolific breeders, and pairs will have multiple broods each year, especially in warmer areas. Mourning doves were closely related to the passenger pigeon, which was hunted to extinction in the 1800s. According to the Cornell Lab of Ornithology, the oldest known mourning dove was a male who was at least 30 years old when he was shot in Florida in 1998. He had been banded in Georgia in 1968. When you hear what sounds like a bunch of squeaking when mourning doves take flight or land, it's actually made by their wings as air rushes through the feathers and causes them to vibrate. The sound can also serve as an alarm bell. Researchers have found that playing recorded wing whistles from startled doves can spur other doves to take off too. According to the National Audubon Society, around the feeder, science shows that mourning doves are rather calm. Researchers analyzed feeder interactions reported by bird watchers across the country to see which species were the most dominant. They found that, while larger birds generally come out on top during squabbles, mourning doves ranked lower than expected despite their bulky size. According to the National Audubon Society, warblers and downy woodpeckers, meanwhile, proved surprisingly feisty and ranked toward the top. Still, mourning doves did hold their own against some rivals in the feeder wars. But I must say, in my own experience at my own feeders, I've seen mourning doves that, while they were rather calm, they never seemed bothered by Eurasian collared doves or white-winged doves, and would hold their own against them. Mourning doves, along with the rest of the pigeon and dove family, are some of the rare bird species that can suck up liquid through their bills like a straw, instead of having to tilt their heads back and let gravity do the work. The birds seem to pump their tongues like pistons to create a suction process like a vacuum pump, according to a 1982 paper that took X-ray videos of pigeons to figure out how they drink. This method lets doves drink quickly, minimizing the time they may be vulnerable to predators.
If you enjoyed this video, consider clicking on the like button and subscribing. Thank you.
If I dunk this basketball, you subscribe.
Oh, hello. I'm Randy from Randy's Natural World. I hope you enjoyed the video on
Mourning dove was
Yes, that's it. Today I'm pretending to be a scientist. Maybe I'm doing research on a 5 o'clock shadow, I'm not sure. But that's neither here nor there. I'm hoping to speak to those of you who haven't subscribed yet. Here's a list of reasons why you should. It's free. You can't beat that price. Number 2, quality content. Always quality content. Number 3, YouTube allows unlimited subscriptions, so there's no reason not to. Anyway, number 4, are you a procrastinator? There's no need to procrastinate. And I know what you're thinking, Randy, I'll subscribe when I get around to it. Well, here's your round to it right here. Round to it. So go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead. A wise decision.